Or, oh, I'm sorry, yes. Mr. Smith, you have a minute and a half to give us your spiel.
Hi y'all, my name's Randy Smith. I am from Mercer, Tennessee, which is right outside of Jackson. I'm the fourth candidate in the race, the dark horse, I guess. Nobody really knows much about me, but you will. I am a chef. I run Botto's Restaurant in Jackson. I've been in the restaurant industry for 15 years. If anybody doesn't know anything about the restaurant industry, it's a very hard business. It teaches you frugality, industry, and thrift, things that are sorely lacking in Washington. I'm running because I'm tired of our tyrannical government usurping our Constitution and not governing by the consent of the people. And I've had enough. I'm tired of sitting on the couch complaining about it, so I decided to get off my butt and do something about it. And I'm a vet, and I take my oath seriously, even though I'm still not in the Navy. I truly love the Constitution, and I pledge to protect and defend it. And that's pretty much it. Thanks.
Okay, Mr. James.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Mid-South Tea Party and the organizers of this debate for inviting me here tonight. My name is Don James, and I'm running for Congress because we face many problems that have gone unresolved for too long. And I'm tired of voting for the lesser of the two evils. We continue to rely on a two-party system to provide us with different choices. But thanks to this corrupt system, there's little difference between the two of them. Both parties voted to increase the size of our government. Both parties voted to trade our freedoms for security. And both parties are responsible for our monstrous debt, our failing economy, and the exporting of our jobs overseas. I'm running as an independent candidate. A candidate who doesn't answer to or work for party leadership, but a candidate who will work for the people of West Tennessee. I'd also like to point out that I don't have a D or an R by my name because I'm an American and a Tennessean, and that's who I care about. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Kirkland, you have a minute and a half.
Thank you. My name is Ron Kirkland, and I want to be your next congressman. What I want to convince you of tonight is I am the most qualified candidate who has the best chance of beating Roy Herron in November, and that's what we need to do. I want to tell you a little story. I walked into a bank about 4 weeks ago, walked up to a lady and said, "I'm Ron Kirkland, I'm running for Congress." She said, "I know you. You took out my tonsils in 1986. I said, "Open your mouth." I looked in, I said, "I recognize you now." It was a nice visit, but that's not the end of it. A gentleman walked up and said, "You took care of me years ago in the emergency room in Jackson, Tennessee. I was hit in the eye with a baseball. It broke my eye socket. You took me to surgery. You fixed me that night. You relieved my pain, and I appreciate that." I said, "Thank you, sir." He said, "But that's not all. A few years ago, I brought you my son who had a bad earache that no one could diagnose. And you looked at him, you examined him, and you said, 'I think you have a bad tooth. If you get that tooth taken care of, I think you'll be okay.' You took him to a dentist. He got the tooth taken care of, his earache went away." So in 5 minutes, I had 3 testimonials. By my best estimate, in 26 years of practice at the Jackson Clinic, I've seen about 50,000 new patients. Folks, if I can get those patients out to vote for me, I got no problem in this election. I hope you'll decide by the end of the evening, by what you hear, by my answers to questions, that I am the candidate most likely to defeat Roy Herron in November. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Flynn and Dr. Kirkland, I'm sorry I did not call you as a doctor when I introduced you. So from now on it'll be Dr. Kirkland. Dr. Flynn.
I'm George Flynn, and I prefer to be called George.
George, have at it, buddy.
Thank you. I am an electrical engineer, and I became a physician, radiologist, and doing ultrasounds and mammograms and CAT scans. But then I became very interested in what's happening around our world. I'm a Shelby County Commissioner and have had 6 years of legislative experience. I also have several businesses. I started each of these businesses, with the exception of one, from the ground up. I bought one station, but I own